Here in Japan, the Sega Master System was originally released as the Sega Mark III and was a sequel to Sega's first home console, the SG-1000, complete with backwards compatibility support. On a hardware level, the SG-1000 and the Master System are quite similar. Their biggest difference is really the video processor. The SG-1000 houses a TMS-9928, the same one inside of the MSX and TI-99-4A. However, the Master System uses a more sophisticated video processor, the YM2602, which is capable of much more colorful graphics among other advanced features the console is known for, like raster interrupts for parallax scrolling. The Master System is able to play SG-1000 games through use of its legacy video mode, which limits the display to the same restrictions found on the SG-1000, or at least similar restrictions. The biggest difference between the legacy mode of the SMS and an actual SG-1000 is the way each system handles color. The Master System uses what's called RGB color, similar to modern displays and even how our eyes detect color. On the SMS, any given color is represented by a single byte of data, with 2 bits being dedicated to the intensity of red, green, and blue respectively. But the SG-1000 uses an indexed color system. Instead of each color being made up of red, green, and blue values that come together to make a single color, the entire palette is instead predetermined and mapped to 16 indexes marked 0 to 15, with the 0 index color being dedicated to transparency. These 15 colors are quite bright, giving the SG-1000 a very warm and cheery feel, but since they aren't directly tied to any mathematically significant RGB values, they make reproducing them a bit challenging for the 6-bit color of the Master System's VDP. The legacy mode of the SMS uses a mathematical selection of colors in order to approximate the palette of the SG-1000. For example, the 3 shades of green are made up of just the 3 intensities of green offered from the 2 green bits, and likewise the red colors are emulated using just the 2 bits the SMS has for red intensities. But however mathematically pure this feels, it does not capture the actual feel that the colors of a real SG-1000 give. Even at a glance, the SMS colors feel way too dark when compared to the original SG-1000 ones. And while it works for some games, others become a mess. If we take a look at the palette of the SMS, we can find much more appropriate colors for the legacy mode, as I did in this example palette. Just look at how much closer to the original artwork this palette is compared to the colors hard-coded into the legacy video mode of the Master System. There are some workarounds though. Since chronologically the SG-1000 was released before the Mark III, few developers tailored their game's palette to work on both systems, and just by looking at gameplay, it's impossible to know if the artists got lucky and the Mark III colors ended up suiting the game, or if the game was tailored for both consoles. Except with Pitfall 2! The original Pitfall 2 on SG-1000 looks like this, but they released a revised version that looks like this. Can you tell the difference? The SG-1000's different shades of yellow, red, and green are all very similar, so it can be difficult to see that difference when running on the vintage hardware. But what if we play it on the Mark III? It's like night and day. Obviously, Pitfall Harry's skin and the background of the opening screens have the most overhaul, but if you look carefully, the color of almost all enemies has been changed to the brighter shades too. It makes you wonder if other later gen SG-1000 games got the Pitfall 2 treatment during their main development cycle. Certainly, for modern developers, this is something to take note of. Since there aren't any EverDrives for the SG-1000, it is very likely that anyone playing homebrew SG-1000 games will be doing so via the Mark III or Master System, so making sure a game looks good on both systems is of utmost importance. It's just a shame about the immutable legacy mode colors of the Mark III. Because of this, I spent a lot of time going back and forth on what colors I wanted the Steelfinger Studios splash screen to be for my SG-1000 projects. However, it is possible to detect what system a game is being played on through software, so in theory, it could be possible to write separate graphics routines for the SG-1000 and Mark III, and that's exactly what I did. Simply by checking the amount of RAM the hardware has, we can determine if we're running on an SG-1000 or a Master System and can change the graphics to suit the hardware. My goal now is to get such a game up and running. So if you're interested in following that journey, as well as all of my other 8-bit assembly adventures, consider supporting me on Patreon for access to my weekly development videos. I'm Bofner, and thanks for watching. See ya!